Hi everybody, well I've just come off the stage from the Big Bang 2023 here at Galway Executive Skillnet, and I'm back in the green room while lots more is happening out there on stage, and I wanted to share with you a couple of the points that I talked about today. The first thing is, my brief was to talk about what has happened in 2023 and how do we plan for 2024 in a room of people who are decision makers within their own businesses or within their own departments across academic organisations, among many others. Ultimately, a Skillnet, particularly Galway Executive Skillnet, is tasked with enabling people to upskill in the areas that they need to be able to take on the opportunities as well as face the challenges of the future. And they have poured €815,000 over this past year into helping lots and lots of people here in the west of Ireland. And with that in mind, here's what I had to say. First of all, what you have to do, what you want to do, what are you able to do? If you put that on a model, particularly put it in a triangle, okay? So take those 3 points, and in the center, right in the center of that triangle, draw a dot. And on a scale of 1 to 10, note down of the various different tasks that you do. What you have to do, what are you able to do, and what you want to do. Right, now let's think about this. If you have things that you have to do and that you're able to do, but you don't want to do them, find a way of taking them off your desk. Whether it might be, okay, we're not going to do that as a business anymore, or find somebody who wants to do it to delegate it to, or think about, can you automate it? Is there another way around it, etc. Because that is the area where that's kind of like, you know, the urgent and not important side of the Eisenhower matrix. It can drain our joy. If you have something that you want to do and that you have to do but you don't feel you're able to do, well, that's where skills come in. How can you find a way to upskill? What can you do about that? Is there a course you can do? Is there someone you can talk to? How can you plot that path, particularly if you have to do it? And an example of that might be, maybe you have to manage staff, or maybe you have to manage customers, or maybe you have to manage a budget, and you don't feel that you're all that able to, but you really want to be able to be better at it. That is exactly where skills are at. Now, if you want to do something and you're able to do something, but you don't need to do something, well, of course, that's where your chocolate tasks can sit. Can be something where, you know that you enjoy it, but do you need to do it? Like, it doesn't need to be done. It can be a beautiful way to procrastinate, but will it actually get you where you need to go? So from that perspective, then what you need to think about doing is that, are you actually finding ways to work in your business, whether it's entirely your decision or others, that you can more so focus on what it is that you want to be doing, and just look at what you're doing and the way in which you're doing it in order to get to that point. Second thing though, and this is really important, is it's super important to have this chat with your team because of the same thing. I do think it's important that we do the things that we like to do and that we're skilled and able to do them, but that they fit into the needs of the business. So have that same chat with your team as well. The second thing is that I also spoke about is, what did you learn in the year gone by? So I spoke about the fact, of course, there's been lots of changes in the Irish economy, and there's a lot of things that this year in business and in socio-economics and in politics and in geopolitics have taught us. But what did you learn personally this year? So here's a really big takeaway for me this year is, I was wondering, how do I empower people more? How do I empower the people around me more, whether they're staff, whether they're subcontractors, part of our broader business community, business partners, etc. And I do want to mention one woman that I interviewed in March. Her name is Grania McNamara. And she had it really succinctly that day, that I have since taken and I shared with the audience today, and that is, connect people to the outcomes. Let them feel what it's like when things go right and when things go wrong. And that's certainly a big move that we've made in the business this year, is that we now bring staff more into our client interactions, and they take on more and more of the responsibility, and thus the kudos, but also then the culpability if things don't go as we might want them to, or to have a steep learning curve maybe from an involuntary mistake, etc. Connecting people to the outcomes is the way in which you empower people, and that's not always easy, but it is necessary if you do want to empower the people around you. The next thing that I posed to the audience today is, as we transition from 2023 into 2024, and that is what you need to let go of. And in my case, there was 2 things that I didn't like doing anymore. I enjoyed them years ago. I did certainly in the past. I wasn't enjoying them as we came to the end of last year. I wasn't enjoying them. So I took steps. First thing, I acknowledged it and I admitted it. The second thing was, I thought of who else could do this, or else is there a way that we could do this differently? Was there a different medium this could be performed in? Is there a way this could be automated? And then separately, having a chat to other people in the team to see if this was something that would light their fire. Is this a task as it stood that they wanted to take over, or that they had a different perspective? And also then to make decisions in the business about the offerings that we wanted to keep and continue to delivering. So my question to you is, what do you want to let go of? Okay, now looking ahead into 24, I put this up on a Mentimeter screen and I asked people to vote on what road were they going to travel in 24, because a lot of people, of course, at the moment, we're talking about strategy and we're talking about things that we're going to do differently and maybe new services that we're going to build or new target markets that we're going to approach. Underneath all of that though, comes down to what you value. So these were the 6 choices that I posed. One was the road that is familiar. The second one was the road less travelled. The next one was the road back to safety. The next one is the road that you would choose based on the opinions of people that you value. The next one is the road of your wildest dreams. And the next one is the road where you try something new that you've always done. Now, I said my answer to that is a combination of the road that is familiar. And the reason I say that is that I want to make sure that there's consistency and stability and a solid foundation in the business, both for ourselves, our customers and our staff, as well as the road trying things that I've always wanted to do. That is the right balance. Because of course I do ask the staff, what are things that you want to do that you haven't tried yet, or opportunities that are out there? Of course we're talking to customers about doing things that they have never done before that we can help them with. But it has to be a strong balance. So the balance is a strong, solid foundation. We're going to do what's familiar. We know what we do and what we can do it well, and build it and make it more efficient and all of those things along the way. And then on the other hand, there's certainly lots of room for innovation, whether it's process, whether it's business model, or whether it's product and service. All 3 we will be pursuing as well. But that balance to me, as the CEO of our business, is what I feel, and that of my co-founder Ardal as well, that is the right decision for us to take at the moment. If we were in a different economic environment or a different people situation or a different business opportunity, we may have a different answer. But think about that and what is the right one for you. Now, I also pointed out a range of ways to improve profit, opportunities and cash flow. I'll give you one each. So when it comes to profit, know the profit margin of each of your products and then put your marketing resources into the ones that are most profitable. That is the way in which you can boost the profit line of your business. Second one is opportunities. How can you find more? I know any of you that have heard one of my videos before, you'll hear me talk about this a lot, but I do suggest connecting with your university, and that is a great way to connect with ideas, to connect with new people, to connect with research opportunities that they have. And our universities are big, they can be really big organisations. They can have a lot of different tentacles that can offer opportunity. The way in which to do that, if you're in the south of Ireland, for example, might be through an innovation voucher or an innovation partnership. The way to do that if you're in the north of Ireland might be a knowledge transfer partnership, and there's also innovation vouchers too. But check out the business school of your local university and see what opportunities there are there to connect with them. Thirdly, with cash flow, how can you improve cash flow? A very simple thing is be timely with when you send out invoices, and then be timely with the follow-up on them after they exceed their credit terms. Simple as that. So if you offer credit terms of 30 days, have an automation in place or a reminder in your diary to make sure that somebody follows up on the 31st or 32nd day. And that can simply just keep good fiscal discipline on your business as well. The next thing I just want to do is, I spoke today about ways in which I've helped my own decision making, and again it's something I've spoken about in previous videos, but I do want certainly to give a shout out to Ellen Glynn. Ellen Glynn and her dad were interviewed after me, and they talked about a range of decisions that Ellen and her cousin had to make when they were at sea. They found themselves in trouble on a paddleboard. They made remarkable decisions, small ones and big ones, that fundamentally saved their life and enabled a community of people to come together and work together to make, as they said themselves, a miracle happen in Galway Bay. So decision making, of course, I was speaking about it today from a business point of view. Lots of people have personal business decisions. Some of them are absolutely critical, both in substance, in nature, and also, of course, in terms of their timeliness. And Ellen Glynn today certainly showed that in so many ways. So I want to give a shout out to her as well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you also hugely to Margaret and to Val and all the team at Galway Executive Skillnet, and I wish you the wonderful rest of your day.